Hey, what's up, witches? It's Luna and Pywacket, who's leaping off the chair now. I suppose it's all for the best. I'm here with an unboxing for you today. Please forgive the mint in my mouth. But here we go. It's a casual Monday, you guys. Today's unboxing is a deck I was not aware of. It's called Dancing in the Dark, and as you can see from right here, it's a Los Scarabeo deck. And how did I find out about it? Probably somebody's list, somebody's video of here's the blah, 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 whatever. Once we get in, I will tell you what made me jump. Gianfranco Pereno, Dancing in the Dark Tarot, 78 tarot cards with instructions. Same there. Same there. And we just have two different images, front and back. Typical LS tuck box, which will be getting my tape treatment so it does not fall apart. LWB. I don't think I've done that short of an intro for a long time, but it's just right to business today. Here is the typical LS facing card. Follow Los Scarabeo Tarot on Instagram. Same both sides, but it works as a blocking card. Look at the back. Ooh. So they are directional because we've got a person on a horse in the middle, but it's not a great attention grabber. And I think, even if the backs of the cards were directional, who cares? If you want to reverse cards, reverse cards. Is it going to stop you? Oh no, that card's but they're beautiful. And they're also, the shading is a bit different. So you can see if that's something that really bugs you, then that's something that really bugs you. I had to say, I have slept for the last 2 nights in a row after having not slept for a long time because of my shoulder. So today my brain is just kind of empty. And you benefit from that. So here's the other face card, Dancing in the Dark Tarot. And let's see, Gianfranco Pereno. This is 2021, printed in February 2021. I have sunlight. The thing I don't like about it is it's coming through my screen, so you see this little grid, but that's what it is. Lunea Weatherstone is the author, so that's another good reason to get it, because she's a wonderful author. And that's all the information we need there. Of course, since it's LS, this is why my intro was so short. I usually look at the book, but it's a little book, so we can look at it close up. All right, Dancing in the Dark Tarot. Whatever is a reality today, whatever you touch and believe in that seems real for you today is going to be, like the reality of yesterday, an illusion tomorrow. Okay, so whatever seems real today is going to be like the reality of yesterday, an illusion tomorrow, right? All right, and you see that I have you probably hear that I have my window open today. Sorry, cracking my back. You can hear the birds. It's beautiful and cool and breezy. And so that quote was Luigi Pirandello. I will read the short intro. Divination illuminates the darkness. For centuries, people have turned to fortune tellers, soothsayers, seers, and mediums for guidance in troubled times. People learned how to interpret oracles for themselves, seeking deeper meaning in the midst of daily chaos. The cards you hold in your hand are part of that lineage. Italian author Luigi Pirandello wrote, "Life is full of infinite absurdities, which, strangely enough, do not even need to appear plausible, since they are true." They don't need to appear true or believable because they're true. Wow. Tarot tells the truth, plausible or implausible, and helps us distill understanding from life's absurdities. In this deck by Gianfranco Pereno, figures appear like dancers moving across a darkened stage, flashing into illumination as they step into a spotlight. Or perhaps they're like actors on a dark stage. The lights come up suddenly, a scene is revealed, the meaning comprehended, and then darkness falls again. I like the way they frame this. Tarot cards are like that too, a flash of insight, a sudden revelation, a glimpse of meaning. Maybe we can't grasp life's infinite absurdities, but bit by bit, we can recognize their truths, even if we're just dancing in the dark. And now I've got, there's a 1980s song trying to play in my head. I refuse to let it. All right, here's another quote. Working with the cards, Tarot Tableau Vivant. Fate, fortune, chance, all snares of life. You want to be, eh? Okay. There's this catch. In abstract, you cannot just be. The being must be trapped in a form, and for some time it has to stay in it, here or there, this way or that. And everything, as long as it lasts, bears the penalty of its form, the penalty of being this way and no longer being able to be otherwise. So that's also Luigi Pirandello from One, No One, and 100,000. That right there is worth sitting with for a while. So a tableau vivant, or living picture, is a theatrical presentation where costumed actors silently pose in a stationary scene, such as the recreation of a famous painting or historical event. Because the participants must keep perfectly still, tableaux are usually very brief. The stage lights come up, there they are, and then the lights go out again. The audience takes in the living picture being presented, comprehending it in a flash, and then the next scene appears. This tarot exercise is meant to work in the same way. Quick impressions of a few cards, one after another, as the actors are illuminated for just a moment. This is a good way to learn a new tarot deck or energize your divination skills. Mix the cards in your usual way and randomly choose 5 cards, laying them face down before you. When you feel ready, turn over the first card and look at it for no more than 30 seconds, then turn it face down again. Repeat with the rest of the cards one at a time. Sit with the images in your mind for a while, imagining the characters and scenes enacting before you. What are they trying to tell you? What is the flashing impression you are left with? Take your time. When you feel complete, turn over all 5 cards and consider their usual tarot meanings. Note how these fit or not with your quick impressions of the tableau. And that's where we come into the, when the tableau impacts you personally, you feel that connection with it. If that's at odds with what it says in the book, I would say experiment with that. Try it out. When it shows up in a meaning, which one vibrates for you, resonates with you, that's the one you go with. And it could change from reading to reading, depending on context. Here's another quote. Then we go into the cards. Our spirits have their own private way of understanding each other, of becoming intimate, while our external persons are still trapped in the commerce of ordinary words, in the slavery of social rules. Souls have their own needs and their own ambitions, which the body ignores when it sees that it's impossible to satisfy them or achieve them. Wow. Okay, so it talks about the majors and minors, and then we're into the meanings. And we have a short description with each of the majors, and then key meanings. And then when we get into the minors, we've got no description of each of the suits, but we have same thing, very short description, key meanings. All right. Let's look at the back, or see how long this goes. Swords seem to be the last one. Yes, so the first 27 pages are English, and the book includes, as usual, English, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese. Although, you know, LS decks have different, sometimes German, sometimes Russian. It just depends. All right, here we go. You want to know why I picked this deck? I mean, look at, first of all, let's just look at how beautiful. I like the amber and black color palette here, that the images are mostly black and white with just a little jot of color. And here, rather than the Fool, we certainly can tell it's the Fool. There's the rose. There's the little critter. Not sure what that critter is. Oh, it's a wolf. Look, it was because his head's up. Ooh. It's a wolf or a dog howling. And she's leaping off of this, like the top of a column, like a pedestal. There's something I never really thought of. Leaping off of a pedestal. I will not be confined to this space you have put me in by your own imaginings, by your own judgments, impressions. She is leaping free of that pedestal. There's nudity, obviously. She's clearly female. Wow. So, you know, having set it up with that that introduction of actors on a stage is amazing. It sort of frees you. It's freeing me from going immediately to here's what the magician means, you know. So here's this man with these tools in front of him. He's floating in the air. All of the essential elements of the magician card are here. And we have a little bit of red, so another little color coming in. They're beautiful images, very appealing. I like the darkness here and here. Here is what made me go, holy shit, this deck is mine. That, folks, is my daughter. There are no two ways about it. Come on. Oh, it's because I have it on fixed focus. Dang it. All right, I'm going to switch this for a second. That's my daughter. And we're back. So that, and here we go. I forget. I've got bright sunlight. Okay, we're back. So yeah, when I saw that card, it was like, holy shit, that's my daughter. And then when I showed this to my sister-in-law, she said, holy shit, that's you. So yes, in my younger days, and if I think about it, I might, you know, pop a picture up, maybe, if I remember. But look at this beautiful, beautiful image. So, I mean, the High Priestess has always been my card. And it is even more so now my card. And here are the two columns with J and B and the crescent moon. So all of the familiar things for the High Priestess, including my own dear daughter's face. And then here is the Empress. Now she kind of diverges. We don't have a pregnant woman. We've got all these pomegranate symbols on her robe, this crown of stars, and the heart with Venus on it and the wheat are the clues that let us know this is the Empress. Then we have the Emperor, and again we have another color showing up. We've got kind of yellow and red, clearly recognizable. Here's the Hierophant with the keys. And then we go more into the dancing here. Look at the Lovers. Look how beautiful and lyrical and free. And we have the flaming tree here and the apple tree with the serpent here. You know, again, the artist has pulled out the pith, the essence of the images, and then added this movement that is just beautiful. Here's the Chariot. But this Chariot is really static. The Sphinxes are the Sphinxes? Help me. The Sphinxes are facing each other. And we've got this almost, you know, like robot looking dude in his armor. Okay, I'm not going to get into that much detail, but look at strength. Wow. The Hermit. I like the way they're very, you know, most of them are full on here. Especially with the Hermit. He's usually to the side, but he's looking straight at us, and I really like that. Here's the Wheel with the 4 fixed signs. I like the way they're just half faces. And here's Justice. I really agree with these images. The Hanged Man. Wow, look at the striped pants. And the dancer's point. Here's Death. Oh, look at the children. Yikes. And the crown fallen. Temperance. How interesting that the angel's not holding the cups. And then we have the Devil. The Tower. Wow. So the focus here is on the people falling from the tower and on this giant crown. We have all these little flames. We've got the lightning and all these little flames happening. So there's this giant crown and there's a falling crown there too. Wonderful. The Star. The Moon. And the Sun. I was just putting these side by side because I'm interested in the color choices. That we've got kind of this orangey color for the moon, and then we don't have a color in the sun. Look at the child and the horse. Judgment. Wow. And the world. That image looks familiar to me. I'll have to sit with it. And again, we have the same half faces for the fixed signs. Now into the minors. This is instantly recognizable as, you know, the Smith image. Look at the little hearts in the water. That's something new. Here's the 2. Just beautiful, beautiful images. I can't really tell what's happening down here, but it matters not. I mean, look at just the blacked out, like silhouetted bodies, but you do see a little bit of detail. And the hair, I mean, I really like this. If you find that you're overwhelmed by all of the elements of a standard tarot deck, this is a great way to strip it down. It really minimizes the distraction. Here's the 6 of Cups, and we just have hands. Handing a flower. So you don't really get that idea of, you know, an older transmitting something to a younger, but there is that idea of transmission. Here's the 7. Wow. I love the face in the moon. And the 9, look at him in his business suit, very self-satisfied. So it is a modern deck as well, if you haven't picked that up yet. Here's, although there are some elements like that, the Knight on the Chariot of older times. Look at the children playing. This is lovely. Then we have the Page. That's instantly recognizable. The Knight. The Queen. I love that cup. I love the Queen of Water's cup, the Queen of Cups' cup. And the King. Look at him. Look at the water. She's above the water, but it's lapping all over him. I like that. And then into the Pentacles. Two, look at the little Harlequin kind of outfit. And this is always important to me. The ship getting tossed on the waters back there is a very important element of the 2 of Pentacles to me, because it says that we have a juggling of resources. We have decisions to make about resources. That's this part. But back here, it says that there's emotional upheaval because of it. The boat is getting tossed on a sea of emotions about these decisions. Here's the 3. Look at that. I like this. The Mason's thingy. And here's the 4 5. They're all very true to the original. These are less dancery. You know, I kind of wish they all had that dancer but you know, they also framed it with dancers and actors, so we're not really stepping outside of their own context. Here's the 7. No, this is the 6, sorry. As the number indicates. 8, 9, and the 10. Very familiar. It's, you know, it's comfortingly familiar. This is a right out the box read it deck if you're familiar with Wade Smith. There's the page, and look at the there are numbers on the courts rather than page, knight, queen, king. There's the 11, the 12, the knight that goes nowhere, consistent, 13, and 14 of pentacles. Look at the bowls. Victorian. Okay, wands. He looks so well-to-do. Look at his cape. The 4, like the image is on a tapestry there. Here's the 5, very stained glassy. Victory card. Again, we have this idea of, you know, is that like a stage setting, like a curtain hanging behind, you know, as the backdrop? Interesting. There's the 7. The little leaves on the wands, and the 8. And the 9. He looks exhausted. And the 10. It's 11. Yeah, there's the Knight of Wands. Look at him go. Isn't she lovely? I'm missing the cat, but from the Hanson Robert, she has a cat in her lap. And there's the King. Wow, I like the little flames here. The 2, appreciate the blindfold. The 3, 4, 5. There are some other images. These people. Haha, I beat you. Get the fuck out of here. And there's the 6. Again, you've got that either crackling or, you know, it's not really stained glassy, but interesting. The 7. Bad way to hold swords. The 8. The 9. And the 10. And there's the page. Queen. And the King. Okay, my charcoal is lit, and I apologize if you hear the hum of the fan. The humidity was getting to me. So I am very happy already to have this deck in my collection because it is a reimagining that still sticks so closely to the original that it's instantly usable. But the things that it brings through the differences are good. They add something to it. So I'm very happy to have decks like this. And, you know, one of the reasons why is particularly if you read professionally. One of the things I discovered, because the first things I did reading professionally were just at psychic fairs, at Ren fairs, things like that, where I would be doing readings all day long. You know, I remember one fair I did 20 readings during the day, and I was just laid to waste after that. But one of the things that happens when you do reading after reading after reading with the same deck is they can start to go stale. And when I would start noticing, feeling like I was just repeating what the cards mean rather than hooking in to, you know, the big reading I do has triplets. Rather than hooking into the story, I would just be saying, this means this means that, and it was time to switch decks. If you switch decks, it can just really jog things out of feeling stale and really get you hooked in intuitively again. So let's do a little blessing. I want to say thank you while I'm lighting this to all of my viewers for coming and hanging out with me, most especially to my patrons. If you're interested in supporting the channel for like $3 a month, there's a Patreon link below. Every month I put up a poll and my patrons get to pick which deck they're buying for me. So by air and fire, may you be purified and charged. By water and earth, this is ocean water. If you're new, by water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And let's do the book too, because why not? And when I do this, I'm also sending, blessings and gratitude to the author and the artist. And by the sound of the bell, may the spirit within you awaken. And guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, thank you so much for being here. I'm incredibly grateful for my family every day, but most especially today. And that includes my spirit family, my guardians family, and I offer you fresh water. I offer you my gratitude primarily, and the fire of Azrael to awaken the spirit of divination in this deck. You know what? Well, I'll wait till that burns out. I am looking forward to shuffling this. Look, this is a tarot deck. This is a standard tarot deck. I can hold the whole deck between my fingers. The cardstock is cardstock stock. It feels wonderful and shuffleable, and here we go. Yes! I was watching a video by Dawn Michelle the other day. She's, oh shit, I don't remember the name of her channel. I will put it up here. And she did a video bitching about cardstock, and I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not the only one, because you know how I go on about cardstock. It's important. And one of the points she made, I realize I maybe have never made this point directly, but shuffling is really comforting to me. It's like a stim. I'm autistic too, if you didn't know. It's a stim, and it's comforting, and it's fun. I love the sounds of it. But one of the things that I hadn't thought about before, why I like to riffle shuffle, cut shuffling is fine. But one of the reasons I like to riffle is, watch, it gets air going across every single card. And when you bridge, the air surrounding it. One of the things I do with the deck when I haven't used it for a while is blow on it. That's the element of air. Air is communication. So very important with the deck. And I noticed that there were no spreads in this book. So we are just going to do, I think we're going to do a 10 card, because this is so close to the original. I'm not going to have to sit and look everything up. Plus, the meanings are short. The entries in the book are not massive, and it'll be easy to look things up and just hear the voice of the author, of Linnea Weatherstone. So let's just ask what we need to know today. What do we need to know whenever someone is viewing this? A message that will resonate. As always, I'm asking how we go from surviving to thriving, but even more broadly, just what do we need to know about where we are in our lives on this planet at this time? One more. Okay. there's that Two of Pentacles. And there's the Page of Swords and the Two of Wands. So right away, we've got some symmetry going on here with the twos. We have the Knight of Wands, the Two of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles. I'm feeling my hand is very shaky today, and I'm not sure why. Six of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. So right away, I want to deal with these twos. When you do a spread like this, and you know, I started off doing Celtic Cross very quickly, stopped doing Celtic Cross. I bought a book called Classic Tarot Spreads that had this Wheel of Fortune spread where every category, there's 9 categories, every category has 3 cards. And learning to read in triplets like that just converted me forever. So I do this, you know, 3 by 3, and then a final card at the end, 10-card reading, rather than the Celtic Cross. And what I like about it is that you can relate the cards in so many different ways. And usually I go straight for the middle card, but as you're laying the cards out, you immediately start to recognize patterns. What jumps out at you? So you don't, there are no rules here. You don't have to start with the one in the middle. You start with what leaps out to you. What is getting my attention here? And I also realized that I hadn't before, and this is from learning to read Lenormand cards and kippers and things, is these cards can knight to each other, which is freaking awesome. Okay, anyway, the thing that leaps out at me as I'm laying these cards out, as you heard, is the twos. And they make this nice little triangle. So there's symmetry there. It feels cohesive. It feels like this is a valid reading and there's a message coming through. So let's deal with these twos. Twos can talk about decisions, this or that, duality. The one in the middle, the Two of Swords, is certainly about decisions. It can be... that blindfold can indicate denial, where there's a choice to be made and I don't want to do it. Don't wanna. Sometimes that says that, you know, there's a choice to be made and I don't want to hear about it. I don't want either one of these choices. It can also say that I am going deep inside to figure this out. So I'm shutting out the external world. Swords being air, swords being the intellect, says that I am going to go deep inside myself and let my deep mind deal with this. Let's go to the book, because I could talk for hours already, you know, but we want the deck to speak for itself. Your mind is full of too much noise, and input from others only confuses you. Do not move. The situation holds possible danger or failure. Key meanings: stalemate, a forced stop, cautious consideration, vigilance, and meditation. Okay, so I love this. The mind is full of too much noise. Time to shut down the distractions, you know, the outer world. Let's go to the Two of Pentacles, and then we'll weave it all together. A busy life is a balancing act. Keep your sense of humor as you juggle multiple tasks. I love that. The little harlequin thing. Keep your sense of humor as you're juggling these things. Multitasking, focus, balancing work and play, and distractions. So here we go again. Distractions. Here we come down here and learn how to sort of filter out those distractions. Okay. We have the Page of Swords. I'm glad that we got, you know what we didn't get here? Have you noticed? We did not get a major arcana. Arcanum, I guess that would be, you know, if you're getting fussy. And I'm fussy. Okay, the Knave. So the pages are called knaves here. A young, cerebral person who is out of touch with emotions. He is analytical but lacks true understanding. So with the quartz, we don't get key meanings. We just get a description of the person. All right, so we're juggling resources here. We're having to keep our sense of humor through it all, but here we get kind of detached from emotions. Deep and insightful, or just overthinky, very thinky, but not, it says analytical but lacks true understanding. So here, with the juggling, I'm looking at juggling ideas, maybe too many ideas. But since we are not connected with emotion and intuition here, they're all of equal value. And so we're juggling. Set your goals, but consider other people's needs as well as your own. Seek expert guidance about timing. How interesting. A cautious beginning, circumstances may change, plans, mapping the terrain. So definitely mapping things out, making a plan, but we still have too many thoughts going on. And with all these swords, particularly once we get down here to the ace, that ace indicates we need to pare things down. We need to trim things down, okay? To the second line, we have the Knight of Wands. A self-confident person who lives for glory, risk, and righteous challenges. He's an activist and world changer. All right. Then we've got that 2, which we already read, but we shall read again. Just to cover all the bases, your mind is full of too much noise, and input from others only confuses you. Do not move. So look at this page. The page, too many just intellectual ideas that are untethered to emotion and intuition and your feelings. You don't feel what's right. So again, intellectually, we give all of these ideas equal space, and it's too much. And that's what the 2 of Swords here is verifying. It's too much. We want to take action on something, but there's still too much going on. And the 7 of Pentacles there says we need to review things. We need to decide what works and what doesn't. A good harvest takes time. Hold true to your vision of what you will achieve with patience. Patience, timing and seasons, ripening, the proper time to harvest. Okay. So talking about holding true to your vision, but I'm going to go with the, taking stock. Here's what I did. Here's what it grew. Am I happy with that? Is this what I really wanted? Notice, too, that there are no reverse meanings in this deck. I just realized that. Okay. So we're planning. We're trying to work our way through all of these frickin' ideas. He says we need to step away from merely knowing to understanding. So all of the facts don't really lead us to a place until we start thinking about, what do these facts mean? I need some understanding. This says it's time to take action on something, but I've really got to weed things out. I got to weed the garden. I need to review what I've done in the past. Both of these are looking to the past. So I think we need to look at the things that we've taken action on in the past, and we need to look at how those things played out. Did I get what I wanted or not? And that can help us start to filter. Down here we have the 6 of Pentacles. When you offer some of your prosperity to others, you make room for more to return to you. Balance, give and take. That's an excellent meaning there. Charity without pity. Charity without pity. That's the problem with charity, is most often, we're looking down. Oh, these people are less fortunate and I'm above them doing this wonderful thing, rather than sharing, laterally, equally. Accepting help. There's the other side. When you don't accept help, you deny someone who cares about you the opportunity to help you, to care for you. You stop the wheel turning, Okay. Healing, The limits of self-sufficiency. Ooh, Lunea. To boil these things down into such short things, but boy, they're pithy. So, the limits of self-sufficiency. So here's like self-sufficiency. I've done all this work myself, hard work myself, and now I want to share some of the harvest and perhaps ask for help myself. So when we start coming to understanding of the things that we want to do, of the plan that we want to make, now we consider others in this plan, how I may help others, how they may help me. Then we have the Four of Wands. Your work is moving towards success. A time of rest and celebration will refresh your spirits and energize your efforts. Ceremonies and rites of passage, attention to custom and manners. Okay, so this is a celebration of success, and we've got this success here. We have enough that we can share. We can celebrate that. And the Ace of Swords here, Ace of Swords is always a new beginning that starts because of what you trim away. This is the gift of clarity. A new idea is divinely inspired. Grasp the sword of truth and vision. Fresh ideas, intelligence, communication, a more exalted point of view. So by the time we get to the end here, we come to an understanding that it's not just about me and my plan and my past successes. Let's see what we get at the end here. We get the 11 of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles. A nature-loving young person who is not inclined to practical matters. Who is not inclined to practical matters. He enjoys life, but lacks responsibility. Okay, so here's the immature part of Earth. Love nature, but not very practical and don't take responsibility for it. I want to keep going till I get a major. Pardon. All right, wait, I want to go over this again. So here, we've got a lot of back and forthing going on. What is it that we're having an issue coming to terms with, coming to understanding with, coming to a concrete decision with? Because the Ace of Swords down here says we finally need to just make a decision and make the cut. So perhaps there are things that we need to let go of that we don't want to. And, maybe the things that we're called to let go of are things that will benefit others. When we do let go of them, it, becomes a sharing. So if you're paring down your resources, the things you have, the stuff you take care of, think about how they can benefit others, and that's worth celebrating. And that can help us to make the decision. I'm so sorry. I pay for having the window open for half an hour. Anyway, I'm going to keep going till we get a major. Victory. Lots of wands all together. Holy mackerel. Look at like all the swords. Okay, the Hermit is our first major. But boy, look what it took us to get there. There's victory, but there's conflict and oppression when we take it all on ourselves. There's defeat and failure. There's boundaries that need to be set to protect ourselves. Then we have a new beginning, but there's still lots of anxiety and strife. We make a plan. Now we start collaborating with others on a practical level. We got to let ourselves out of our own mental prison. The Hermit says we finally do come to deep understanding. The Hermit is about deep understanding. He's almost a higher octave of the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords can just talk about retreating, backing up, filtering out the distractions, to really think about things, to really assess the facts, the actual Manifestation. What have we managed to actually manifest? All right, is this what I wanted? How can I bring benefit to more than just me out of what I have manifested? And the Four of Wands, okay, give me a second. It can also talk about using those resources to construct something, you know, to really make your creative expression. And then the Ace of Swords says we cut through the bullshit. We do come to understanding. And the Hermit validates that. We come to deep, deep understanding about the truth of our resources and what we do with them, what we're able to create and what we do with them. Knight of Wands can also talk about travel, getting somewhere, a change of residence, change within the residence, just moving, but he's moving towards the past here. So we can also look at, you know, this is the other great thing about this type of reading is you can read them this way, you can read them diagonally, you can knight them over. You can get so much out of this, and I'm not going to do that now. I may play around with it once I shut the video off, but so for instance, juggling resources, don't know what to do, got to make a decision. All right, we can make a decision based on what we grew in the past and what we did with that. How satisfied were we? Making a plan based on your creative passions, where you want to go with things. Okay, the Knave of Swords, having a lot of ideas but no real understanding. All right, time to trim out some of those ideas, time to pare it down. And he also knights over to the Six of Pentacles of all these ideas. Maybe I could give some ideas to other people who do the kind of things that I don't do. Like I could have these great ideas of, oh, I don't know. I don't even know. I can't even think of anything right now. But I could have great ideas about, ooh, you know, you could do this, but it's not in my realm of influence. It's not within my skill set. But maybe I can share some of these too many ideas with somebody who does have the skills to do it, you know, or somebody that can help, can bring their skills to help me, and then we collaborate. And your past successes, where your passion has taken you, can help you to, you know, set the dividing line here. Creative passions. What am I going to do? What kind of a plan do I want to make? And we do actually end up structuring. So you think about these ideas, and what's required is structure. It's fun. It's fun, you guys. The knighting thing really is worth doing. So I'm glad I kind of did that. I don't know if I got them all. But anyway, let's do the final thing, which is something that you can do at the beginning to really just get the overview of the reading, is let's count suits. So we have Pentacles 1, 2, 3. We have Swords 1, 2, 3. We have Wands 1, 2, 3. What the hell do you think of that? And then we had a pentacle at the end too. So if we just go with that as our end card, and having no majors, what does that mean? That means it's all about the day-to-day details. It's all about making decisions about these nitpicky little things that just throw us into seesawing back and forth. So see, if you do that at the beginning, it's a great overview. What's not here is also significant. What's not here are cups. It's not about the emotions. We can stay completely free of how we feel about things. It's time to get practical. It's time to get insightful and to get creative about our resources, because this is the first card out the chute, and we have a slight predominance of pentacles. So it really is about our material resources, but mostly about, you know, our stuff, not necessarily about our money is what I get. It's more about our stuff. So yeah, what do you think, you guys? There's a mini masterclass in doing a 10-card 3x3 reading. Let me know what you think. What do you think of this deck? I love it. I already love it. It's amazing. Easy to use, incredibly easy to use. And I like the images, and it will have a special place in my heart because of that High Priestess. I think that I would be tempted to have that card blown up and hang it on my wall, truthfully. Anyhow, what did you think of this? Let me know down below. Please hit like so more people can see my stuff. Like I said, there's a link down below if you want to support the channel. I appreciate everything you do. Please join us on a live sometimes. It's really fun to get out a bunch of decks and play. I hope to see you then. Until I do, this is Luna. Blessed be.